So today I'm going to be talking about appearance panels and graphic styles. It's a really great way to optimize your work, make an effect that can be applied to any vector object, which is really awesome. You're not using, a lot of times, people will be using effects and doing all this stuff up here. It's only in the appearance panel. It'll break everything up kind of into layers and keeps everything super organized and super optimal. So we'll start off with text. We'll do all this to text. Um, I was actually today for the 10 millionth time watching Lord of the Rings. Uh, so it's on my mind, and I'm just gonna say a wizard is never late because Gandalf is awesome. Should I be using Bedoni? Blender script. We'll use this Blender script for now. And yeah, so we'll get started here. Normally you start off with a fill. The fill is just what the color is. And we only have one layer. You can do a gradient, do anything. We'll do this yellow gradient here. And like I said before in the last tutorial, this isn't necessarily supposed to be the best awesome design. I'm just doing something that I think will be good to teach people some of the usability with this. I'm going to try to avoid using, drop shadows and stuff and stick with a lot of offset paths and transforms. So this is what I mean by layers. If you see here, we got basically two layers of this text saying a wizard is never lit. If I change this bottom one, you can't see anything because it's the same size, which is why I'm going to go into the effects to path and offset path. Offset path is just making it, if it's positive, it's making it that many pixels bigger around it, and if it's negative, it's making it smaller. So I'm going to say 2. We'll preview it, and it looks like a stroke. I'm also going to make it round. It looks like a stroke, but don't think of it as a stroke. See, if I hide this, it's all the letters. And actually, I'm going to take that gradient and flip it so it's there. Okay, so now it just looks like yellow letters with the stroke. I'm going to duplicate with this folder right here, duplicate that, and now we have 3 layers of colors. I'll change this first one to white. Keep this one here, and I'll actually offset it 4 now. So your 3 layers look like 2 strokes over a word mark. And now with that same thing selected, so whatever you're selecting is what you're applying the effects to. I'm going to apply a transform effect, which I also often use. The way this works is anything positive horizontally will go to the right, anything negative horizontally will go to the left, and vertically anything positive will go down, anything negative will go up. So here I want to do negative 0.5 pixels, which is how much it's going to be scooched, and then vertical 0.5, so that's left and down. I like to do this a lot, where it's kind of like a nice way to make a sort of 3D effect, but not 3D, not like a Photoshop render 3D. I'm making 10 copies, which means this transform effect is going to happen 10 times in a row, which you can see there. So it gives it this nice slope going down. If I were to change this to, let's say, 5 pixels, then you can start to see the shapes there, how that's working. But we'll go back to negative 0.5. And yeah, this nice little thing. And so the offset paths actually can work in reverse too. So I'm going to duplicate this first one again. And on the one at the top, I'll apply this lighter gradient to it. And actually that one I'm going to flip as well. Only now I'm going to path, offset path, and I'm going to go into the negatives. We'll try -4. So that looks like, there we go, round it. It doesn't have to be round or but I kind of like the way that looks. Maybe even -5. Break it up a little bit. There we go. And now with that file, similar to the with that I'm sorry, with that color, I'm going to transform it and maybe move it. I want to move it left and up. So I'm going to say 2 to start with, at least 2 and -2. Maybe -2 and -2. There we go. And I think we could go to 3. Okay. So then you could even put it over something else completely, and you could really just jack up the offset path completely, and we'll drag this guy all the way to the bottom, and we'll put this all over a blue. They got their default ones. We'll see this though. We'll go path. Oops, that was a misclick. Path, offset path, and 25. Only round. And flip it. See right here, it's real nice and easy to work in the gradients when you're over here. So something like that. If you wanted to, apply drop shadows, you can any effect you can do on the layer itself. So let's say on this blue one, I want a drop shadow. And a lot of times I do a lot of TV graphics, and using this appearance one, well, it's great because A, I don't have to remake an effect every time, and B, it's like a good way to get stuff to show up on video. You never know what it's going to be placed over, or I mean, you do know, but sometimes it's tough, and just a solid color won't do. You need to get creative. So I'll put a drop shadow actually behind this one too. And yeah, so how you save it as a graphic style is actually super, super simple. You select whatever you had, and then up here, just say new graphic style. And now you see the little guy we made right there. And like I said before, any vector shape will turn it into that graphic style. This is nothing super special, but it is what it is, and I think it's kind of nice. It's clean, it's vector. If you want to go back and really, really touch it up, because I know that like negative offset path kind of gets these a little funky. I mean, I do this all the time where I'll go in and I'll just, expand appearance, and then go in with your, let's see, what don't we like? We don't like how this isn't high enough, and you go in and fix that. But yeah, so that's this feature. Like I said, and you'll be working on something, have 5 different graphic styles up there. Really couldn't work without them at this point. If you're a graphic designer, it is well worth learning. Didn't even bother with this toolbar up here, just did all in the appearance, and there's so much you can do with it, even with just the offsets and transforms. They're just layers of the same shapes, but at different sizes. Well, I hope this was informative, and you guys learned something. I enjoy this, and I appreciate the listen. If anyone wants to learn how to do something, wants a tutorial on something different, let me know. My website's carlcodesign.com. If there's something, if you want to check that out, and even if you see something and you're like, I wonder how we did that, shoot me an email, and I'll let you know. Everything's pretty easy. It's just figuring out how to do it in the first place. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.